All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, that believe wholeheartedly in the true doctrine that is being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth, who are in hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, which is fastly approaching, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet Earth. All right. I was recording earlier, or not earlier, but a little bit ago, and my power went out, and lost the recording, but it's all good. We're recording again, and we're gonna hop right into this lesson. All right. As you can see in the title, it's something to do with the provocation. All right. And if you've been around and you've actually been into the scriptures, you truly believe, you understand what the provocation is. All right. And what that was in the wilderness, Israel continued to provoke Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai until he straight up killed them in the wilderness, to where they died off and they didn't enter into his rest. All right. And that's the same sentiment now, all right, what's going on amongst the so-called Israelite community, all right? You have a provocation happening, all right, with these other Israelite groups, okay? The voice of the Lord is constantly warning these people, these jakes, but they not taking heed because they don't understand. Obviously, they don't understand that the voice of the Lord are the prophets. All right? Because if the voice of the Lord, because the voice of the Lord is constantly been warning you, Jakes. All right? Since 2007, when the true prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai came onto YouTube. All right? There has been a warning, all right, going forth for you to take heed to what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has been warning you of, which is the coming destruction, and for you to obey his voice, all right? And a lot of you are rebellious, all right? You have become rebellious. Matter of fact, we're going to start there in 1 Samuel. Okay? You're rebellious to the voice of the Lord because you think that or maybe you think you're the prophets. But the prophets were constantly warning. The prophets didn't put on no concerts. They didn't put on no motherfucking shows, and have that appearance of worldliness. All right? That's not what the prophets did. The prophets warned you. All right? And this is what the true prophets are doing. All right? But a lot of you come in the spirit of rebellion. All right? That's what you've come into the spirit of. You're in the spirit of rebellion. And the scriptures tell us right here, all right? Just as Saul rebelled against the word of the Lord, all right, the voice of the Lord. Matter of fact, let's read we'll start at 22. Key point is the 23rd verse. A lot of you are spiritual Sauls. All right? You're Saulites. All right, because you're rebellious. You don't want to do what the voice of the Lord is telling you to do. You know, as of late, you had Genesis display their folly once again. All right. Not only with the eating of the romaine lettuce as the bitter herbs. All right. And you can say, oh well, the bitter. When you look up bitter herbs, it says romaine lettuce is a bitter herb, not fresh, bro. Okay, not fresh. Ain't nothing bitter about no goddamn romaine lettuce, man. All right. Matter of fact, bear with me a second. Okay. and when you look up, which this was sent to me by the beloved elder Tazadak Mawar out here in the LA camp, which he's under Barack and in the Fontana IE branch of the Los Angeles Great Millstone. It says here, you know, and this is from them small hatters, right? It says, how is romaine lettuce a bitter herb? It says, I'm confused about the maror, the bitter herbs eaten at the Sadar. I always thought you are supposed to use horseradish, which you are supposed to use horseradish. All right, horseradish, you know, it's a spiritual reminder of the hell that we had to endure in our first Passover from the slavery. All right. It says, and also here in Babylon. Okay. It says, but then I heard that we should use kos or romaine lettuce leaves with a spoonful of fresh horseradish. I eat lettuce with my salad. Salakia, man, these words are small. I eat lettuce with my salad all year round, and it is not bitter. If anything, it is quite sweet tasting. So why eat lettuce to commemorate the bitterness of the Egyptian slavery? And here's the answer. It says, your sweet lettuce is a sneaky little vegetable. It's, matter of fact, let me share this to the screen so you can see it yourself. Pull it up right here. Okay, this is what I'm reading from. And the answer is right here. Your sweet lettuce is a sneaky little vegetable. It's very closely parallels the Egyptian slavery experience. Nothing sweet is nothing about slavery is sweet. Okay? Indeed, lettuce has a gentle and pleasant taste. That is because we pick it when it is young. But leave the lettuce stalk in the ground for a bit longer and it turns bitter and pungent. This was the exact course of events in Egypt. When the Israelites first arrived, they were warmly welcomed and made to feel at home. Pharaoh invited them to assimilate into Egyptian culture and society, to participate in the economy and become fully fledged citizens. The trusting Israelites accepted his offer with relish. They felt honored to be accepted by a nation as illustrious as Egypt, which this ain't even in the scriptures. Okay? They went into Egypt for corn. All right? When you read the history, and when they got to Egypt, their brother was on the throne and they didn't know. And Joseph was the one that kept him in Egypt. All right? And when Joseph died, a Pharaoh rose up that knew not Joseph. Okay? It says, and this was their downfall. They had been duped. The friendliness was a facade. Once Pharaoh had seduced the Israelites into a false sense of security, he could easily manipulate them. Before long, the welcome turned bitter, and the Israelites were enslaved. All right. So at the cedar, we eat lettuce, not the mature and embittered type. All right. But lettuce that is still tasty and sweet, because the sweet lettuce is the bitterness of them all. So this is where I believe they get this from, to eat the lettuce. All right. And it reminds me of when we were in the wilderness, and Israel was constantly provoking the Lord, and they wanted to go back because of the onions, the melons, how they were eaten in Egypt. Okay? But they yet complaining to the Lord. So I believe this is where he got that bitter herb as romaine lettuce from. But when you buy it in the store, I've never seen romaine lettuce sold in any store, and it's still bitter. All right. But you're supposed to eat horseradish root. All right. That's what you're supposed to eat. Okay. So going back to 1 Samuel 15. All right. And that's just one group. All right. And then they also had a whole goddamn show. A whole goddamn party up in there, which looked like the Passat. I'm not sure if it was, but all in all, the spirit of rebellion is amongst our people here in Babylon the Great. And I'm talking about those that know that they Israelites. Other 2/3, they were, born in vain. All right. I'm talking about the 2/3 that don't know that they're Israelites, or rather could care less. All right. But you got these other Israelite groups, i.e. Genesis, i.e. IUIC, ISUPK, all these other groups out there, all right, who are not listening to the voice of the Lord. When the voice of the Lord is simply warning you, all right, to come up under the correct doctrine. All right. But pride is in there. And Jake just want to do what the hell they want to do. That's the same thing Corey and them did in the wilderness. And what happened to them? Same thing the former head and leader of the Sakari, same thing he did. He was doing. And what the Lord do to him? And y'all think the Lord ain't seeing your rebelliousness and your stubbornness? Okay? He finna cash in on you if you lest you repent. Okay? Here it is. There was a blood moon. You know what? Let me do something real quick before I don't want to say that was their Passover, and they didn't and they had that story. I don't want to say it was the Passover, and you know what I'm saying, it wasn't. So let me go to my history real quick. Oh, it's the wrong page. Switch it. Here we go here. The big G's, not the little one. Well, yeah, this was put up 9 hours ago. Let me see. Let's look at the comments. See if this was their Passover. Yep, it was their Passover. Most High willing, I'll be there next year. All praises. See, the Most High is not pleased with this. Guaranteed. The Most High is not pleased with this. Okay? Oh, Passover exclusive. See, the spirit of rebellion is still out there. Even after the Lord just took out and humbled the former leader of Sakari, whom they used to follow. Okay? Even though, and they still with the rebellion. Okay? Still with it. I ain't gonna play none of the video, but you know, you see what it is, man. Priest Genesis mode. Okay? Nowhere in the scriptures you seen priests putting on concerts and rap songs on the Passover. And don't say you know, the apostles or the disciples, which became the apostles, they were humming hymns and comparing it to this bullshit here. All right? So, point being, Jake is continuing to be rebellious against the voice of the Lord. Matter of fact, let's read verse 22 again. 1 Samuel 15:22. And Samuel said, and we waiting to see IUIC's pass, so we know how they pass. You know, it's gonna be a whole nother some more rebellion. All right. Same with the ISUPK. Okay. It says, and Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, in the voice of the Lord are the prophets. Okay? The voice of, matter of fact, let's get that in the, I believe that's Luke 1. Okay? Well, let me see. Let me type in cool of the day. That's Genesis 3. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Genesis 3:8, and they heard the voice of the Lord. They heard the voice of Yahweh powers. All right, because I believe this word here is Alahayim. Oh, I clicked the wrong. And they heard the voice of the Lord. All right, the voice of Yahweh powers, the judges, the divine ones, which are the prophets. Okay, the prophets. All right. Let me see something real quick. Right. The voice of the Lord are his prophets. Genesis 3:10, and he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, which the prophets were in the garden. All right. And I was afraid because I was naked and hid myself. See, Jake ain't afraid of the voice of the Lord no more. You know what I'm saying? They think shit is sweet. Deuteronomy 4:33. Did ever people hear the voice of the Most High speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and live? Let's get now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our power anymore, then shall we die. Well, that's dealing with Israel when the Lord actually made it. You know, because the Lord's voice is also thunder and lightning. All right. Let me check Luke 1. All right. And then going back to, let me read this one, Genesis 3:8. And they heard the voice of the Lord, all right, the voice of Yahweh, or Yahweh's powers, walking in the garden in the cool of the day, all right? Meaning prophets, all right? There were prophets back in the garden. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord's, or Yahweh's powers, all right? Yahweh's judges, all right? Amongst the trees of the garden, all right? Now let me see if I can find this one. I believe it's Luke, the first chapter. Bear with me a second. I know it's Yep, here it is. Luke 1:70. All right. This is the point. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, which goes back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. All right. Which is the voice of the Lord. Okay. That was when the world began, going back to the book of Genesis. All right. The 3rd chapter. Okay. The prophets have always been around. All right. So let's go back to 1 Samuel and read that. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. And this is the reason Samuel said this, is because Saul's excuse was he kept the cattle alive to sacrifice unto the Lord, when the Lord told him to do none of those things. The Lord told him to kill everything. Kill the animals and kill all of the Amalekites. All right? Verse 23. For rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. And that's what you see. This is the sin of witchcraft here, man. You know? Eating goddamn romaine lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can be rebellious. Just so you're not doing what Great Millstone is doing. You just want to be rebellious, man. All right? Which Great Millstone are the prophets. The voice of the Lord. All right? This is why we get on everything. Okay? This is why we attack anything that's contrary to the true gospel of Yahweh Shai, because we are that voice, all right, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Let's look up that word stubbornness. All right? Because it's like, damn, y'all act like, you know what I'm saying, we personally just want to get at y'all. Nah, man. Okay? Look at this. The Hebrew word is patazar, all right? Which means to press, push, to push, press. Be insolent, display pushing, arrogance, presumption. All right? Let's look up this word insolent. I've looked it up before, but I kind of forgot, because I've seen this word before. Let's look this up in the online etymon real quick. Insolent, contemptuous, all right? Arrogant, showing haughty disregard of others, right? You're showing the disregard not of others, but of the voice of the Lord, all right? That's what you're doing. So when the Lord bring the judgment, just take it. You know what I'm saying? And all you out there that's going to be talking about mercy like you were for the former leader of Sakari, don't even do it. All right? Because you're going to add stripes to your back. All right? It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, all right? He have also rejected thee from being king, all right? And like I said, this was directed to Saul, but we can learn from this in the times that we're in right now, all right? You see nothing but rebellion amongst the so-called Israelite community, all right? Everybody doing their own thing and not listening to the true voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's going to be to your own destruction. You're rebellious. All right? Isaiah the 30th chapter. In the 9th verse, straight to the point, it says, matter of fact, I'm going to read 8 too. It says, now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people. All right? And it's our duty to warn you. You think we want to just constantly get on dudes, man? No, we ready to get the fuck up out of here, man. But the Lord gave us this job. All right? As the scriptures say in Ezekiel 2 and Ezekiel 3, give them warning from me. Okay? It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. All right? And the law is the order of the Lord. All right? That's given from his prophets, man. All right? Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And it's another scripture that proves that the voice of the Lord are the prophets. All right, that's what it proves right here. Okay, because they say to the seers, which Samuel was known as the seer at that time. He was a seer at that time. All right, which the seers became prophets. All right. They don't want to hear the right thing. All right? They don't want to hear the Passover is a solemn assembly. There shouldn't be no goddamn babies around. You know what I'm saying? It should be strictly the brethren that's about the ministry. And if brethren that's about the ministry want to keep the Passover with their families and, you know, go through the ceremony, anoint their wives, their children, and whatnot, hey, that's their business. All right? How was Yahushua's Passover? It was just him and his disciples, man. Okay? But again, Jake is rebellious. And they gonna rebel until the Lord do something about it. And he is gonna do something about it. Trust and believe. It was a whole blood moon last night. A whole blood moon on the night of the Passover, and Jake having the whole goddamn concert. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 26-27 is the key point. Take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your power, that it may be there for a witness against thee. All right? And the prophets are a witness against you faulty Israelite groups out there. All right, it says, for I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death. And this is Moses speaking to the Israelites going back thousands of years ago. And here we are in 2024 AD. We done went through all kind of history, all kind of ages, and Jake is very far gone. All right? Very. Okay? But the Lord is going to deal with you. Now, let's get Nehemiah ninth chapter. And I'm going to get to the provocation scriptures. Okay? We're going to start at, we're going to start at 6. Nehemiah 9 and 6, it says, Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their hosts, the earth and all things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all. And the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Thou art the Lord, the power, who didst choose Abram, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name Abraham, and foundest his heart faithful before thee. And we are the children of Abraham, all right? The true prophets, okay? Matter of fact, let's get Galatians, the 3rd chapter. All right, because of the faith that the Lord has given us. I'm going to start at 6. Key point is the 7th verse. It says, even as Abraham believed the Most High, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. All right. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. All right. And that's the elect. All right. That's the elect. Yahushua said to the wicked scribes and Pharisees, he said the Lord can raise up stones to be, let me get that one. Let me get that one. Yep. Matthew 3 and 9. All right, because they be like, we Israelites too. We, what makes y'all special? Y'all ain't, y'all ain't the prophets. Well, yeah, you are Israelites, but are you the chosen of the Israelites, the elect? All right. It says, Matthew 3 and 9, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. All right. And this was Yahushua speaking about the wicked scribe and Pharisees, man. All right. And it says the same thing here in the book of Luke. All right, so we are the true prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The elect are the children of Abraham, all right, in whom the Lord is dealing with. Back in Nehemiah 9, verse 8, it says, and foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him to give the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Girgashites, to give it, I say, to his seed, and has performed thy words, for thou art righteous. And y'all think the Lord ain't finna perform his words in these last days? He said, before the great and terrible day the Lord come, the moon shall be turned into blood. That happened last night on the Passover. Came to pass. Okay? It says, and didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heardest their cry by the Red Sea, and showed signs and wonders upon Pharaoh. And you can't tell me the Lord ain't showing signs and wonders out here, because indeed he is. All right, we seeing these prophecies jump off the page. Those are signs and wonders in itself. All right. The chariot sightings. You had what's the name of dude's satellites? Starlink satellites. One of them satellites blow up, and you had the chariots of the Lord show their presence around it. That's a sign and a wonder. All right. Uh, um, Over there in I believe it was Iran, the beaches of Iran, they turned blood red. All right. And they trying to blame it. Oh, it was just blood rain. They got their scientific explanations. No, these are signs and wonders the Lord is showing that He's getting ready to return. All right. Did He not say, "I will plague Egypt with plagues as before"? Okay. It says, "And show signs and wonders upon Pharaoh and all his servants." And that's what the Lord is doing now in Babylon. They're going to continue to increase the signs and wonders. "And on all the people of his land. For thou knewest that they dealt proudly against them, so didst thou get thee a name as it is this day." And this is how the whole earth at that time feared Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay? "And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land, and their persecutors thou threwest into the deeps as a stone into the mighty waters. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go." All right, and this happened to our forefathers. They saw all these great wonders and still rebelled. So you guys gotta be the children of those rebellious ass jakes back then, man. That's y'all. That's not all of Israel. All right, that's you rebellious jakes out there, man, that will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord. It says, "Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven." All right, and again, like I said earlier, that was the Lord. He made it thunder and lightning because they was talking shit to Moses. All right, talking shit to his prophet that he was using. Okay, rebellious, and gave us them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and madest known unto them thy holy Sabbath, and commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant. All right, and we in the stead of Moses. All right, the prophets. We're the leaders, just like Moses was a leader, and you can find that in the book of First Ezra, man, where the Lord said, "I have given unto you leaders." All right, and the prophets are named off. Okay, and gave us them bread from heaven for their hunger. All right, and this is Yahweh Shai raining down this knowledge to us in these times, man. All right, and gave us them bread from heaven for their hunger, and brought us forth water for them out of the rock for their thirst, and promised them that they should go in to possess the land which thou hadst sworn to give them. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and that's exactly the spirit these guys are in, man. Okay, we're gonna see if IUIC tops the Genesis Passover. We didn't see what was popping at the Sakari Passover because their leader's gone. All right, but we're gonna see if IUIC or the ISUPK can top Genesis Passover with rebellion. All right, it says in matter of fact 16, "But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not to thy commandments, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them." You ain't mindful of the wondrous works the Lord is doing amongst us right now, man. Okay, you ain't mindful. Okay, you think what you're doing is right. We're going to see. It says, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. All right? Going back to Corey and them. But thou art a power ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. All right? See, after what the Lord did to Eleazar, y'all was supposed to get y'all shit in order and show some type of fear towards Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. But nope. Nope. You stayed doing what you're doing. Okay? And that's fine. You're going to do what you do. But it's our job to put this out there if there be any potential members of the elect amongst these groups. All right? So you can get from around them before the Lord actually brings down the hammer. All right? Verse 18, yea, when they had made them a molten calf and said, this is thy God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and had wrought great provocations. All right? And this is what they did. They provoked the Lord. Okay? Yet thou and thy many manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. All right? Because he allowed them to die off, the older. All right? And the young ones is whom the Lord, with Joshua, all right, is whom the Lord took out of the wilderness. All right, the children of that rebellious generation. Okay, it says, yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them by day to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night to show them light and the way wherein they should go. All right. So the Lord mercy, there's the Lord still has a door of mercy open for you, which I get majority of, or the leadership of these groups. I'm gonna say that the leadership of these groups, they don't look like they're gonna repent and they're gonna get their shit in order. All right, don't look like it. So when the Lord do bring that shaft through there, all right, just like he did to Sakari, you're going to have to eat it. All right? Ain't going to be no wiggling out of nothing. All right? Because the Lord is going to do it. All right, from here, I read Galatians 3. Let's go to Acts 3. I believe that's, let me see. Yeah. Acts 3 and 25. You are the children of those prophets, and you are included in the covenant the Most High promised to your ancestors. For the Most High said to Abraham, through your descendants, right? All the families on earth will be blessed. So it can't be these guys having a party on the Passover. Can't be these guys, man. This is the Passover we talking about. This is the Passover we are talking about. And this is what they were doing. Big G's. Okay? So they can't fit that bill. This is the bill they fit. Let's get the book of Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. We're going to go to 9, and we're going to jump down. It says, I have made your forehead as hard as the hardest rock. All right? And this is why we constantly on these guys. We're constantly on the rebelliousness. The Apostle Tahar, you know, he gets on shit. He don't let that rebellion slide. Meaning he warning you. All right? He's warning you. Okay? And in turn, we see the bullshit, and we like, hey man, this shit ain't right. Y'all better get it together and do what the scriptures say. It says, I have made your forehead as hard as the hardest rock, so don't be afraid of them or fear their angry looks, even though they are rebels. All right? That's our people. They're rebels. Majority of you. You're a bunch of rebels to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Now let's jump down to yeah, we're gonna jump down to I'll read from 24 on down, because eventually the Lord is gonna shut us up, and that's when he gonna start fucking y'all up. All right? It says, then the Spirit came into me and set me on my feet and spoke to me and said, go to your house and shut yourself in. There, son of man, you will be tied with ropes, so you cannot go out among the people. And I will make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, so that you will be speechless and unable to rebuke them. So what is the job of a prophet? The prophets are rebukers, man. Okay? They're rebukers. It says, for they are rebels. But when I give you a message, I will loosen your tongue and let you speak. Then you will say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Those who choose to listen will listen, but those who refuse will refuse, for they are rebels. Okay? And we see the refusers out there. All right? You go to this comment board. That's all you got to do. These are all refusers. Okay? These are all rebels. All rebels of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? And that's your fault. Deacon Hakah, right along with Brother Hassad, and y'all eating goddamn romaine lettuce as your bitter herb. So let's go back. Let's get the book of Psalms, or Psalms 95. Okay? Psalms 95, verse 7 through 11. It says, to the end of the chapter, it says, for he is our power, we are the people he watches over, the flock under his care. If only you would listen to his voice today. Okay? The Lord says, don't harden your hearts as Israel did at Meribah, as they did at Massah in the wilderness. Okay? For there your ancestors tested and tried my patience. And that's what you guys are doing. You're trying the patience of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Here it is, like I said, he just embarrassed the shit and totally destroyed a whole school by zoning in on their leader who taught this goddamn rebellious ass spirit in Israel. Okay? Who pushed this rebellious spirit in Israel. The Lord got him. Okay? And you still testing the Lord's patience? Y'all are crazy. It says, for there your ancestors tested and tried my patience, even though they saw everything I did. Y'all seeing what the Lord is doing out here. Y'all seen the blood moon. But y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all think the Lord playing. No. The Lord ain't never played. It's just that his mercy is massive. But when he shuts that door of mercy, when he's done, oh, there's no more. All right. You check out this when you go back to the book of Samuel, the 15th chapter, the way Samuel was speaking to Saul, man, and let him know, look, the Lord, he he chose somebody else because of your rebellion. Okay. Verse 11, so in mine anger I took an oath, they will never enter my place of rest. And y'all ain't gonna enter into that rest, man. Y'all not gonna make it on them ships. The Lord gonna leave your ass right down here, man. He gonna have you getting fucked up during Jacob's trouble. Okay, he had you separated from your children, your wife. The Lord gonna show you how terrible he can be because of your rebellious, man. Your rebelliousness. Okay? Same thing was iterated or reiterated in the book of Hebrews, the 3rd chapter. We're going to start at verse 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 7. It says, that is why the Holy Spirit says, today when you hear his voice, meaning his prophets, don't harden your hearts as Israel did when they rebelled, when they tested me in the wilderness. There your ancestors tested and tried my patience, even though they saw my miracles for 40 years. Okay? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai rose up the prophet Elijah going back to 1969, in whom we believe is Abba Bivens. All right? We've been here. The knowledge has been on the earth for 60 years now. So really, Babylon is like a spiritual wilderness. All right? This is a spiritual wilderness that the Lord is going to destroy. And those of you who are rebellious, you're gonna be left here, and you're gonna be a part of this wilderness that's gonna become a desert. Okay. It says there your ancestors tested and tried my patience, even though they saw my miracles for 40 years. So I was angry with them, and I said, their hearts always turn away from me. They refuse to do what I tell them. And the Lord ain't talking to none of y'all personally. The Lord is dealing with his prophets to come talk to y'all. All right? But since you want to be rebellious, hey, that's on you. So in my anger, I took an oath. They will never enter my place of rest. Be careful then, dear brothers and sisters. Make sure it's brothers as well as sisters, Israelites, all right, as well as Israelite men and Israelite women, all right? Be careful then, dear brothers and sisters. Make sure that your own hearts are not evil and unbelieving, all right? And what truly is being shown is that you truly don't believe. That's what's happening. Y'all truly don't believe, man. All right? Turning you away from the living power. Ye must warn each other every day. And they call it hating on our part. Y'all just some haters. No, we not, man. Hate on what? What do we got to hate on, man? What are we hating on? We're trying to get you correct before the Lord aching your ass, man. We can't move forward until we correct. And what it looks like is the Lord is about to start aching you niggas out there, man. Because you're troubling Israel. It says you must warn each other every day while it is still today, so that none of you will be deceived by sin and hardened against the Most High. For if we are faithful to the end, trust in the Most High just as firmly as when we first believed, we will share in all that belongs to Hamashiach. Remember what it says. Today when you hear his voice, don't harden your hearts, as Israel did when they rebelled. And who is it who rebelled against God, even though they heard his voice? Wasn't it the people Moses led out of Egypt, and who made the Most High angry for 40 years? Wasn't it the people who sinned, whose corpses lay in the wilderness, and to whom was the Most High speaking when he took an oath that they should never enter his rest? Wasn't it the people who disobeyed him? So we see that because of their unbelief, they were not able to enter his rest. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you could go and read the 4th chapter as well, but let's go to the book of Proverbs, and we'll end it here. All right, because I believe the point's been made. All right, Israel has always been rebellious, and you guys have to be those rebellious souls coming back that was in the wilderness, that tested the Lord's patience. You gotta be. Okay? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17. Oh yeah, this is good. We're gonna start at 10. A simple rebuke does more for a person of understanding than 100 lashes on the back of a fool. Okay? Because if you got understanding, when you get rebuked, you gonna be, oh shit, hey shit, damn, Salaki, ate the water, my brother, for checking me where I'm at fault. You know what I'm saying? But you fools out there, it's like you getting lashes and you ain't even. It's just you stay getting your ass whooped. Okay. Evil people are eager for rebellion. And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing eager rebellion from our people, man. From Jake. You eager to rebel because you don't like Great Millstone. Well, guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with Great Millstone. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Let me see. Oh, no, I didn't. Let me see. What did I do? I must have changed the yeah. Okay, yeah, I did. I don't know how that happened. Let me pull it up over here. Let's get that. Proverbs 17. It went to another but that's all right. That's all right. Let's read it. All right? And let's look up this word eager. All right? Before we read it in the King James. Let's look up eager in the Edamon. Let's see what it says. All right, it says evil people are eager. Okay, for evil people are eager for rebellion. Let's see what the word eager means. Eager, contemptuous. No, that's not eager. That's insolent. The word eager, strenuous, ardent, fierce, angry, sour, acid, harsh, bitter, rough. Eager, greedy, all right? keen, sharp, pointed. Okay? The meaning full of keen desire. All right? And their keen desire is what? Rebellion. Okay? Be sharp, rise, out to a point. Okay? They putting it on display for the world to see. Look, we ain't having no solemn Passover. Okay? Sticking out. Just rebellious. Eager to be so too. But they will be severely punished. All right? Severely punished is what's coming. Let's read it in the KJV. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Okay? Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. And that's what's getting ready to happen. All right? A lot of y'all are about to find out that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has never been with you. And he was constantly warning you through the mouth of his prophets. But you fan the prophet's hand away. You refuse to hear his voice. So now, therefore, you're going to have to feel his wrath. All right? So I'm going to end it there. Again, Lord will, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. I believe the point was made. Giving all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And we on to the next video. Be not like this rebellious house that we see of our people, man. All right? We are still in the time of judgment. And the Lord is beginning at his sanctuary. Shalom.